When I was younger, I liked a lot of hands-on activities. So I like playing with Legos, just building things in general. I used to go to Mama and Gong Gong house every Sunday, just spend time with them, that's all.
安怎讲？
好在我拜的人咯，我甲讲我在甲兴。
哎呀，你逐摆是安尼看呢？
我甲你讲咩
？Because I'm the youngest in my whole family, and also because I'm the female, so they tend to dote on me more than they dote on my other siblings.
来，你甲讲咩？
Even though we have a language barrier and we don't really speak to each other much, we're still very close to each other.
啊，大公，买 ice cream 给你哦。
ice cream。
我个包一红包给你。
The one thing that I always look forward to is drinking Mama's soup. The soup is very clear, so you wouldn't expect too much. It just tastes so nice. I cannot really explain how it tastes like. It's very special.
好了啦，去叫你那兄人来食饭。
哥哥。
真好啉，真好啉。
好啉嘛？拜嘛。
My Gong Gong passed away in 2019. I think when he passed away, everybody was affected. But Mama, she tried to stay strong for everybody, even though I think she's the one most affected by everything.
I'm not working.
Sometimes she wants to visit me and my siblings at our house. So she'll take 30 minutes to just take the bus over, even though she's very old and frail already. I think she just spends her time maybe like cooking more so that she wouldn't think about Gong Gong as much. I couldn't help her with anything. She didn't really have the habit of sharing her feelings, so talking about serious issues like this is troubling. So I created 朋友 because I wanted Mama to not feel lonely.
Hello? Ja, I don't know why the code not working. Yeah, I checked already. Everything seems correct. Okay, I check again. Wait ah. The biggest breakthrough in 朋友 is when I finally got 朋友 to move. I feel like it's my baby that grew up to finally learn how to walk already. Hello, Ja. I think it's working already. Okay, I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.
I hope that in the future, 朋友 is able to be a friend to the other elderlies who may feel like they need a friend to talk to. But for now, I won't tell my mama about 朋友. Nor will I show it to her.
妈，你爹做什么？
没有啦，
我看电葫芦安做不听。
刚才我很忙，我做 corn cake。
我给腾来葫芦哩。
哎呀，我们先去外面喝。I want to show Mama a completed 朋友 which I'm proud of.
妈妈，你的经济好无？
I waited for you outside the classroom last Friday, but Miss Lim said you were absent.
Sorry. Where do you go? I had to go to a party. Mom says they were celebrating Akong going on an adventure. Everyone was crying though. I think they miss him. But I don't, because I'm gonna find him. Hello, Akong. You don't have to wait for me, you know. Buddy hours are over after school.
It's okay. I got nothing to do anyway.
Oh, thanks.
Remember to give me 5 stars. You gave me 4 stars yesterday. Your sticker's falling.
Oh,
No. Don't do that. I like it. We both have that.
okay.
Actually, can I have it? I kind of want to keep it.
Thanks.
No, don't do that. It's a moth.
So?
That might be my grandfather.
What do you mean?
I don't know. My mom says that my grandfather loves me so much that sometimes he transforms into a moth and come visit me.
Oh, so like a transformer?
Something like that.
Cool. You wanna come over?
To your house? Of course I want to. Viddsee.
Can you not do that?
Do what?
I need your help though.
Oh, sure. What is it?
It's a project. I got some Christmas lights.
Oh, are we decorating a tree? You didn't tell me there wasn't a tree.
I am the tree.
Wait, what? Why do you need red lights around yourself? Is this for a performance? Can I join you? I was once a tree in kindergarten and my mom said...
Not a performance.
Oh.
I am just gonna find my grandfather. He's on an adventure at this happy place. He also has a Mercedes, you know?
What's a Mercedes?
I don't know.
This sounds fun. Can I join?
It's private stuff, you know? Between Akong and I.
So, how do we get you there? Ooh.
I don't really know. All that I know is that one day, Akong went himself in Christmas lights and sat in the bathtub. Then, he was gone. It's the longest we've been apart though. He normally takes me with him. My mom talks with him through a wooden box. But it does not talk back. Seems like Akong hasn't found a way to contact us. Or me. But I know he wants me to find him. I'm really sorry you can't come.
It's okay, I'm not free.
That's great. I knew I could count on you. Okay, so here's the plan. Once I'm wrapped up, we need to plug this in. And there's only one socket in the house and it's there. It's on! What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You never intended to help me get there. Why are you stopping me from finding Akong?
What's so good about that place? You're leaving me behind. I thought we were friends.
Oh, so do you want to come?
No, I don't.
But I thought you said you wanted to come.
I didn't.
You did.
I did not.
You did. Stop lying. You're just jealous. Jealous that I get to go to a great place and you're stuck here.
Why would I be jealous? I don't want to die. That place isn't real. And it doesn't even exist.
Akong will never lie to me. You're just a lonely boy that wants a friend. And if you don't want to help me, then I'll just do it myself. I never needed a buddy anyway. Mummy? Akong!
What are you doing with that? Go and wash your hands.
But that's Akong!
Ethan, Akong's gone.
For an adventure? I already know that. Ipo said he is in a happy place. Jiuji said he has a big house and a Mercedes. Ron said that he will visit us as a moth.
No, Ethan. Akong's gone. He's not coming home.
Why not? Every time we go out on adventures, we always come home. I will find him and he will come home.
People don't come home when they die. They leave this world because their lives are lost. They don't come back.
But what if I can find him? I want him back.
You can't. None of us can.
I miss Akong.
I do too. We all do.
I gave you extra stars.
I don't need your pity.
I'm not pitying you.
Then why do you fill in stars for later dates?
Do you even read? Here are the 5 stars and the activities we're gonna do next week and the coming weekend.
But the buddy program does not extend to this weekend.
I know. I'm sorry, by the way. Hey, buddy.
I thought you hated it.
I like it now.
Fine. But don't steal my line. Buddy.
The moth really came though. But it died.
Hey, stop. Stop.
Got your food.
Olympics happens once every 4 years. We plan our lives around it.
We have so many things in Singapore stopping you from doing sports at a high level. It would be great to be part of that 1% in terms of excellence.
I knew I was ready. I was in the best form of my life, and I knew that if I went for the competition, I was very confident that I would make it. But then COVID happened.
Today would have been the eve of the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo.
Instead, the world's top athletes must wait another year.
It's going to be a long road ahead with more uncertainties and qualifying dates still up in the air.
So for me, my main goal is to qualify for the Olympics for now, qualify like top 8 for the finals, and then, eventually winning a medal at the Olympics. I started shooting at the age of 11, and I liked it immediately because, it's guns and you don't often associate girls with guns. So I thought that was pretty cool. And at 13 years old, I joined the national team. At 14, I won the ISSF Gold World Cup.
Excellent shooting by this young 14-year-old.
That was incredible.
Martina.
That was amazing.
Really amazing.
She did great.
And this was when I beat an Olympic champion, which I didn't know until after the competition. And in 2018, I won 2 gold medals at the Commonwealth Games. So currently, I'm ranked 10 in the world. I am second in line for the last quota, behind a Slovenian girl who is ranked 7th. This is the one and only competition left for me to get a chance and qualify for the Olympics.
The Olympic Games has been something that me and Mark have been working towards. I remember back in 2016 in Rio, when we had the Olympics in Rio, and we saw the qualifying score, and both of us were in NS at that point of time. Then we looked at each other and we were like, we could have been there.
Tim and I started gymnastics in primary 1. My dad saw an advertisement looking for gymnasts to cross over to diving so that Singapore would have someone compete at the Youth Olympic Games in 2010. My dad kind of forced Tim and I to go for that diving tryouts because we weren't so inclined to go because the idea of wearing trunks was not something that we really wanted to do. But we went for it anyway. And in 2009, we officially joined diving.
When I was young, I found a lot of success swimming backstroke. I was 16, 17, and I smashed my theory, absolutely smashed it by about 4 or 5 seconds. And I qualified for my first SEA Games with the 200 backstroke. And I was just so far in front of the field, and it put me as a medal contender at that 2015 SEA Games. I was very young and like I put a lot of pressure on myself. Then you're just like, I must win a medal, like, I must win a medal because everyone is winning a medal in every single event. It so happened that the event I swam was the only one that Singapore didn't win a medal in. And especially because 2015 SEA Games was at home, like all my friends were watching, and then to fail like that in front of all of them was like made it even worse. I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I want to kind of have control over everything I do in the race, or at one point in time, everything I do in my life. So when I lost control of that, I think I spiraled, and then I couldn't have that control. And so then when I went to open water swimming, and that was kind of the reality of the sport where there's absolutely no control, then I started to learn how to let go and just enjoy the process. And that's how I kind of fell in love with open water over swimming. Swimming is a very obsessive sport because we are out of humans' natural element. We need to dedicate a lot more time to perfecting that craft, and there's so many elements to swimming. Like there's the technique, the angle of your hand, the angle of your finger, the angle of your head in the water. There's so many of these small things that cannot be achieved unless you put in hours and hours and hours and hours in the pool.
The final competition of the 50-meter rifle 3 positions men and women event will now begin. Shooting from Singapore, we have Jasmine and Martina. Take your positions. Eliminations of the lowest ranking finalists will begin after the 40-second shot and continue after every single shot until the bronze, silver, and gold medals are decided. For the first competition series, low.
In shooting, the perfect score is not a 10, but a 10.9. That's like hitting the bullseye of the bullseye. Every single decimal counts.
The finalists will change to the pole position within 30 minutes now. Minutes change over and cycling time start.
It's quite difficult because, it's a very accurate sport and it's a precision sport. So to really shoot 10.9 consecutively, at least more than 2 times, it's quite unbelievable.
After the 42nd shot, we have our first decision and have to say goodbye to Alia Husna from Malaysia, our 5th ranking finalist, and a big applause to her. Still in the lead, we have Dane Sampson from Australia, and following closely behind is Martina with a difference of 1.2. Martina has taken the lead, and now the difference between her and Dane Sampson from Australia is 0.1.
Before I take a shot, I try to shut out the negative thoughts in my head. I would visualize a black box and put all these thoughts inside. I will visualize doing a perfect shot, so when it actually happens, I don't freak out or get too excited. because this is supposed to be the norm for me.
Stop. Undo. Results are final. Congratulations to our winners. Martina Boloso from Singapore, our gold medalist, James Samson from Australia, our silver medalist, and Jasmine Sir from Singapore, our bronze medalist.
Good to see you guys. Martina is here.
Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for the good competition. Yeah, you too. Very, very intense. My heart rate went up.
So when we found out that the Olympics was postponed, I think we sort of saw it coming because of what was happening around the world. But when the news actually hit that it's officially postponed a full year, I think me and Mark were sort of thrown off because we planned everything up to this stage, school and everything. We were prepared to sort of retire after Olympic Games. And we were talking about what our thoughts were on extending 1 full year. Because it's 1 full year of training, it's actually very tough. People may think, oh, it's just a full year of training, but you have to think about waking up to go for your trainings 6 days a week.
So we train 4 hours a day, every day in the afternoon. And on some days we have to go to the gym early in the morning.
So over the course of 10 years plus of training, we sort of had to endure with a lot of different injuries along the way. And for me, the worst one would actually be my ankle injury, where I landed wrongly in the sponge pit and my tendon actually moved out of position. It sort of jumped over my bone. Safety first, go. Bro. The next Olympics will be in 4 years, and that's a very, very long time to have to train, and I'm not sure my body will be able to cope with another 4 years of training. I think I'm sort of ready to move on to the next phase of my life after the Olympic Games lah.
You know, I'm in my twilight years. Olympics is kind of make it or break it for me. There is one Asian continental slot, and that means that in the qualifying trials, I need to beat this girl from Hong Kong because we are the only 2 people trying to vie for this slot. So I felt very, very good about my chances, and I really thought I could do it. And then COVID happened last, so here we are. Yeah. There's a saying in swimming where 1 day out of the water means you need to make up for it with 2 days. And so for circuit breaker, it was crazy for swimmers because that was like 3 months out of the water. And during that period of time, I thought a lot about the Hong Kong girl. Like, what is she doing? What is she doing? But the goal has always been very clear, and it's to beat that girl from Hong Kong. And so I haven't lost sight of that goal.
The Olympics is really the pinnacle of sport, and I'm sure that's the dream of athletes all across the world, wanting to compete at the highest level possible.
How many people can actually tell their friends or families that they competed at the Olympic Games? It's not only a goal for like my friends or family or whether it's for the nation, but something that I want for myself as well.
If there's anything I've learned from doing open water is, embracing the lack of control. And I guess this mindset of letting go has really helped me a lot in this past year of waiting for the Olympics to happen. So now I take things day by day. I hope for the best. And this idea of hope just keeps me afloat.
This one person was saying like I'm like indirectly doing porn. I would say like it's not really porn, it's like an art. Because like everyone kind of like has their own way of expressing themselves on OnlyFans, you know? Like the way they take pictures, the way they dress up and stuff. So like not really a porn, yeah. It's more like art. It's basically like social media with like subscription, but like a lot of people associate OnlyFans with like sexual stuff, like you know, like cosplay or like lewd stuff. And if they want to like pay more, they can pay more for more content, you know. There are two types of customs I do. One is where they only tell me what I should be doing, but not like what I say. So they tell like, oh, can you like do this cosplay? And you know, can you act like sexy? Or like, can you do like a girlfriend point of view, you know, like POV? Then I'm like, okay. Then sometimes people tell me like, oh, can you like say this, like, you know, with my name in it? Then I'm like, okay, and then that's like extra money, you know.
Hi, did you sleep well today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you had a nightmare? I know what to do. You can just, you know, sleep on my leg here.
Mm-hmm. A lot of time, fans expect any creator to do stuff that we are not comfortable with. Example, this is a really like a weird custom content order that I got one day. They wanted me to poop in a bag. They offered me 5K, but I'm not gonna poop in a bag for 5K. One of my subs requested me to cosplay one of his favorite anime, which is Kakaguri. And at first I was kind of like hesitant to do it. I didn't know if I wanted to spend money or not. But fortunately, I have a school dress and I only need to like buy a red jacket. So hopefully I can find one soon and I can do his request. This custom content isn't loot at all. A lot of stuff happens just for pictures. So right now I'll be charging him around 60 to 70. It is fun. I would say 80% of the time it's fun. The 20% is like when I hit the slums and it's not fun. I think my mental state was really like so bad to a point that, you know, I couldn't even imagine like myself eating food. Like the thought of eating food made me like vomit, you know. I used to like purge my food, which isn't that good for your body. And I couldn't really like even look at like my body because I felt so disgusted, you know, and like couldn't even take a picture. And there are days where I feel really sexy, you know, because of OnlyFans, and like my confidence has gone up. And it's not like I'm looking for validation, but it's nice to hear, oh, you know, you dress nice, oh, you look good. My mother has like, you know, my mom has like really like taught me how to be confident, because like I see her, you know, and I see her being confident in her own skin, and that makes me feel like if she can do it, then maybe I can do that too.
So I really didn't know what is all that. So she told me like, you know, this is how it is. So I said fine. As far as you are enjoying it, it is done aesthetically good, not in a way wherein you yourself will be embarrassed later in life, because sometimes you don't know, the things just come round when you don't want it absolutely. So she said, no mama, I know what I'm doing, I'm comfortable, and I will not do any such thing which will embarrass me myself. So I trust her. So in that case, I'm fine. Yeah. She does share, of course, with me her pictures and all that also. I see a lot of creativity. I was like, wow, so nice that I started sharing with my friends and my sister, But of course, I am worried as a parent. But also, I trust her. And over a period of years, I have seen that she has become a bit more mature and responsible. And at the end of the day, is always an individual. Meaning we all are just there to support. We are just like a passing, but is always an individual who has to then take the repercussion, whatever it is.
I take break here and there, whenever I feel like, my mental health is deteriorating. Because it's quite like, when you see your friends and then you compare yourselves, you tend to compare yourselves, with how many people follow them, how good content they make, or how good their body looks, But now I feel like I'm getting better because I'm trying to, tell myself that, it's okay to have flaws. It's not, you don't have to always be perfect.
Xem là Ayo, look khoa là Lông trọng tạm ca liệu Chạy cho bằng ấy Bi thầu thầu khá lông trọng ủ Ayo Đây là chứ xì xe là khá chung à Thằng anh ấy tòa tông bấy kiểu Cả lúc công niệm và chú xe sẽ là mì kia Tạc phải châu hóa bồi
Khoa bố là
khoa bố, xin mi mà khoa bố Bé phiêu được khoa ủ Cả lúc công điệp và chú xe mô lúc mà xong xỉ Chị nghe khoa bấy tiêu là cải chạy
À là
Ta khá cục và chú xe mê vào cả lúc công xỉ
贵气离浪，哇，水啊！哎，给你一面资料啊。
你kia cả lúc vụ lông cung điệp Cứ khoa chú bán nhạy xì mê Và cả lúc công anh ấy chơi lúc mà theo bố Thì khá mà xì xe mì
嘿，免看啦，我做了有代志。去夹累了啦！
哇，说曹操啊，曹操就到。
创什么？讲我的排位啊？
马拉有，来哎，买12支哦。
来啦来啦，
免啦，昨日投标无看到咩？
有影无？你有对咩？
来，礼拜我听听到。
今年就没比我的份嘛。
隆重来。阿 boy 啊，乖嘛，功课做完了没有？
这题怎么做？
哎呀，
哎呀，这个很简单吗？安哥现在有很重要的事，以后再叫你。为此离啦，后标呢？爱切咩？
安哥，你有看错吗？头奖8729。
你有看啥啦无？
没有错，安哥，你再看一次。
来，卖歹势啊，真好食的。
请人食米粉麻糬，哦，麻糬米粉尔。
吃多啊。热吃那个菜好不好？
你不是讲有鲍鱼的哦，这么这样而已。
来吃啦！
我不要，我不要。
来，我搁叫一盘炒面，也是真好食的。哎呀！
Ain't that trend? Ain't that trend?
面试啊，一沓全是无。
Sorry, uncle. Look up. Open your eyes, big, big.
Hello, good morning。今天还好吗？等一下尽量放松，做得很好。Drops please。On the legs。不要动你的头啊！ 安哥，手术做得很好，你不用担心。里面有放了镜片，等一下你看的时候会很清楚。可是你要记得冲凉的时候不要给水进去。你出去的时候在外面要戴太阳眼镜 ，OK？
brings you sharper images, deeper blacks, and brighter colors. The ultra slim.
哇，唔知是 HD 啊，是我的目睭，洗袂光啊！
species of television.
袂使第二号码是啥物啊？
啊，你也看无，去摘你的目睭啦！
啊，免啦。
这题怎么做？
这题呀、很容易嘛。
喂，先生，慢慢来走，大快来睡。
打电话你按嘴巴，你也冇听。哎呀，
公，你还没 sleep yet？
哎呦，千万我唔通我你就要知影。哎。
阿先了食好了哦，好吧，一个送杯。阿爸，你食好了哦，我先困了啊。Janine， come and eat。
19岁了嘞，你老了。
Don't be so rude, okay?
Okay lah, just kidding.
Yeah, is that how you speak to your elders? Okay, thank you for calling. Bye, guys. Bye. Okay, bye.
阿公。
Hello？ 阿德。安怎啊？有等你代志是无？
哈？
你伫倒咯？
At home。
我嘛是 at home。安怎我无看到？
At home got food, don't want to eat.
哇！你买咁多物件？
呀咯，今天你嘴人，我较更去买啊，无等无了。今天30號哦，哎呀 ，OK， 你搞啊，整理啲，依家就係有嘢會台物件。
Art event。
阿爸，你今日無出門咩？
唉，是想要講遠啦，但唔知怎心嗰啲痛痛，人也嗰啲真閒。
我帶你看路過來買。
免啦免啦。佢要出去了啊？哎呀，你直時家己出來，跟我做啲食飯。
Another time okay, 阿公 ，I'm in a rush。你看啦，帶你出門啊？有出敢若無出安尼款？哦，嗱，你先學見哦。
莫講你嘴啦。 你頭先打電話啊？
Hello? Hello? 2 more days.
2 more days to what?
2 more days until Akong goes to the hospital. When I called, it was the 30th, and you said I had an arts event that's in March. So that means he's still alive. We can still save him.
You dare to stand in front of Akong and say such things? 我來管你啊，其他人 ，OK，
I'm telling you the truth. Why do you always do this?
你其他人啊，是啥講啊？你咪管你啦，
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
What are you doing? I'm gonna pack some stuff. This time you can donate.
What? No! Don't touch it! It's Akong's things! Look, he's calling! Look! He's gonna pick up. I'm telling you the truth. Stop your nonsense, okay? Your Akong is dead. Don't look at me like that, okay? I'm telling you the truth. Oh, he's picking up. Hello? Akong? You're unbelievable.
你講什麼？阿公有病？
No, but you will get sick if you don't stay at home.
哎呀，你放心啦，阿公未破病，阿公連 cancer 都冇驚，啊，冇代志啊。
No, it's not about that. Akong, you have to believe me, okay? I know this sounds insane, but I'm from the future.
Future?
I'll prove it to you. Don't hang up. Okay, 31st March, Singapore have 20 imported. Singapore will have 54 local cases tomorrow. You have to believe me.
好啦，我唔出去哈，我明仔也唔出去哈，我呢 直直出出来，但是阿哥啊，你乖，你明仔载较早回来，哈，咱三个人直直食饭 ，OK？
You just stay at home. I promise I'll eat with you soon, okay?
我看到你了。
阿公。
Hello? 你講咩？
跟你講話啊。
Hey, hi, 阿公。
Hello, uncle. Hello.
今日冇做工啊？
No, that's tomorrow. I'm going out later.
You want to go back?
Bye, uncle.
Akong?
阿哥啊
Akong, where are you?
，at home。你講得真準嘅，今日哦，54個 case。
Now you believe me? Akong, I bought a lot of food. We can finally eat together today.
啊，好，好。
Akong, you have to stay at home, okay? Don't...
好啦，我知啦。阿哥啊，咱講到我別項代志，好？
I miss you very much.
阿哥啊，你會記得幾廿年前我跟你講嘅代志無？
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not listening. I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
你老母哦，你啊，莫一直甲伊玩啦，哈！以後伊會非常較乖，啊？
As long as she leaves me alone, I'm not going to bother her. Hello? Hello? Hello?
What is this, Janine? Janine, why are you doing this? I tell you so many times already. Stop your nonsense. Janine, you're scaring me. Janine Mark, I'm talking to you. Okay, stop this, now. You're delusional. I know Akong's death affected you. Okay? I give you space. You're doing all this? You have to stop your nonsense now. Your Akong is dead. I said stop it. Why don't you listen to me? Can you stop this now? You have to stop this now. Stop your nonsense. Your Akong is not coming back. Ow! Is this what you wanted? Go ahead and blame me, okay? I didn't mean to.
Just say it. Just blame me, okay? Just say it. Just say that you told me not to go out and party. I know that I gave the virus to Akong. Do you know how difficult it is for me to live in this house? Do you know how difficult it is for me to wake up every morning? Every night when I go to sleep, I hope I don't wake up the next day. Every day when I wake up, all I hear is you praying and praying and praying, cooking Akong's favorite food every single day. Everything that you do. Are you trying to remind me that I killed Akong? No! I'm so sick of living with you.
You misunderstood.
Misunderstood? You never listen to me. You only care about work. You never ever care about what I want. Do you even know what I really want? I want my Akong back. And I'm gonna show it to you.
No, Janine. Please don't do this. Don't do this.
Why is it working? Why isn't it working?
Janine.
Hey, why isn't it working?
Janine, you gotta stop all this.
You know why it's not working now? Because you keep praying. Because you pray again and again and again every day, every single morning.
Janine!
Why is it not working?
等嗰啲聽，咱來真正知啊！你自己個哋出嚟到這裡食飯。出來，跟住阿哥，你乖，你媽就去揸燈，等曬冷出嚟食飯。OK。
Another time, okay, Akong. I'm in a rush. I promise I'll eat with you soon, okay?
Hey, Janine, come on, let's go party, man. It's your best friend's birthday. Come on. Alah, this virus, fake one lah. Let's go party.
I brought a lot of food. We can finally eat together. Janine. Come on, please.
你有人聽我跟你講嘅代志咩？
I'm not listening. I promise I'll eat with you soon, okay? I pray every day to give us peace. I cook his favorite dish because it's your favorite dish.
Grandfather, do it next time lah. It's your best friend's birthday. Come on, let's go. 你自己個哋出嚟到這裡食飯。
Another time, okay, Akong. I'm in a rush. I miss you.
阿哥啊，阿公行了，你記袂着阿公，你莫傷心吼 ，OK？ 我知影，你不愛聽這款話，但是阿公定在跟你講，迄陣阿公得 cancer， 是我定就去了，結果阿公還是活落來，但是這擺我想了。 阿公倒袂去了，阿公真老了。阿公去了後，阿公嘅物件，你一日給我點上一項，會使答應我未？啊 ？OK。 你啊，莫一日死過走，較早轉來陪恁老母。伊家己一個無容易，啊？其實啦，伊甲我相像，伊一日想要甲你做陣食飯，但是啊，伊袂曉安怎甲你講。 記嘅，無論發生什麼代志，阿公永遠都會甲你做一個 ，OK？
Akong, thank you for the memories. I make it a point to come home every day now to eat with Mummy. And I know that you're always beside us when we're having dinner. At first, I was confused about what you meant. Why did I have to get rid of your things? Did you want me to forget you? But now, every day, as I throw away one thing, I get rid of one physical thing, but I gain one more memory. It lives on in my heart. We don't have any other plans?
No more already.
Okay. Thank you for setting me free.
Okay, good to go.
I will treasure every moment now, so that I will never regret another missed call.
Yang penting, lauk ini mestilah ada aroma dia, bau
Mak,
sedap.
Bukan kat sini, Mak. Kat belakang. Bukan adjust ni.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, dah. Mak dah start ni.
Dah start Boleh?
Lampu merah tu kalau dah blinking, maksud dah record.
Oh, okay. Yang bagi tahulah Mama, apa ni, 1, 2, 3 ke ataupun action ke, baru mai ikut.
Yalah, Buyung kira. 3, 2, 1.
Action!
Ini Pak. Terima kasih. Makanannya.
Yo, terima kasih.
Ya,
sama. Mas, Buyu.
Alun pulang dari sekolah lagi, Pak.
Pulang.
Alun lagi. Pak, hati-hati ya. Lagi penyakit ini lagi menular.
Yo,
Ya, terima kasih ya, Pak. Terima kasih.
This is my mom. She owns a small shop selling authentic Minang food. She has been doing this ever since she moved to Singapore from Padang, West Sumatra. She is really passionate about her cooking and is the happiest when in the kitchen. Many customers love her cooking and keep coming back. And of course, she will always have time to chat with them. And this is me coming straight away from school to help her out at the shop. Hi Nya, enjoy your meal. Mom says that having born and raised in Singapore, I've gotten used to its fast-paced life. It's too modern, she says. She wants me to remember my Minang roots and culture. Along came one of God's greatest tests, the COVID-19 pandemic. My mom's shop was one of many that had to close down for a long period. It was a difficult time for all of us. It affected our income, and we did not know how long the pandemic would last. It was tough on Mom, as she had been cooking all her life. This shop is her life. In order to help her out, I took on odd jobs like delivering food to people's homes, since most of them are not going out.
Thank you.
I can say it is a good exercise for me too. It keeps the mind active as I still had to balance the job with my schoolwork.
Assalamualaikum. Ma, Mak. Ma. Assalamualaikum Nia, Buyung ni.
Waalaikumsalam. Oh, si Buyung. Masuklah.
Nia, Nia kan tak boleh ke lapau.
Yo.
Jadi ni, Amak ada masak rendang kesukaan Nia.
Oh, masuklah.
Buyung tak nak susahkan Nia. Buyung tak nak susahkan Nia.
Masuklah dulu. Lah iyo tu Yung, menolong Amak. Ini arutkan ini dalam keadaan sihat-sihat saja. Keadaan kini sari bana. Tapi sebagai orang Minang, awak tak boleh putus asa. Kanlah dia bukan manusia lah dia. Akal je fikiran.
Saya tak tahu Nia. Kalau ikut berita, pandemik ni akan ada lama lagi. Jadi, saya dah tak tahu dengan cara apa lagi nak tolong Amak.
Onde, Yung. Cuba fikirkan. Yang paling rancak, orang yang datang ke lapawak untuk mencari makan. Jadinya, Kalau orang tak dapat datang, awaklah mencarinya. Dia mengenal tiang.
Thanks to Inyak's advice, I set out a plan to create a food channel for my mom and I. My mom would cook her special dishes while I record, edit and upload videos online. We would also take in orders and I would be the one who will manage and deliver these orders to our customers.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Right safe.
Terima kasih. Masih ingat nama cik lagi ke? Salam mak Cik suka tengok YouTube video awak. Mak awak pandai masak. Handsome awak.
Handsome?
Bye, take care.
Hi guys, my name is Buyong and this is my mom. This is our first attempt at producing a cooking channel. My mom is a great cook, specializing in Minang food such as rendang, balado and gulai. Today we are making something special.
Balado is my grandmother's favourite dish and ours too. Rindu nenek, salam semua di Padang.
Betul ke nenek boleh tengok?
Ma, ini kan YouTube. Bukan orang Singapura yang nampak kita.
Betul?
Satu dunia nampak kita. Hey.
Dah, tengok yang sini.
Okay. Aduh!
Ya Allah, kenapa ni?
Dia kena kuali.
Budak ni.
Wah, Mak sekarang dah bagus dapat kamera.
Alah, Mak masak aja dan bercakap. Yang lain tu semua kan Buyong yang buat.
Iyalah, Buyong tak tahu masak. Tapi ada guna cara lain. Kamera, YouTube.
Buyong? Buyong nak tahu tak kenapa Mak buka kedai makan masa Mak sampai kat sini? Mak rindu dengan masakan kampung. Lagi-lagi masakan nenek. Mak rindu dengan bau dapur nenek. Dan sekarang, bila Mak masak, Mak akan terkenang dengan arwah ayah Buyong. Sebab dia banyak membantu Mak untuk buka kedai ni. Dan Mak rindu sangat dengan nyanyian dia bila dia tolong Mak kat dapur.
Ma, boleh tak ajarkan lagu yang ayah nyanyikan tu? Ma, tengok Ma. Tengok, nenek pun komen. Duh.
Oh, sorry sayang.
Sorry, sakit lagi.
Sorry.
Kampung nan jauh di mata, gunung sansai baku liling, dan takkan ajo kawan-kawan lama, sakit basul yang sulit.
Kampung nan jauh di mata, gunung sansai baku liling, dan takkan ajo kawan, dan takkan ajo kampung.
An old hand, someone with a lot of experience in something. In his case, it's giving massages and living life without vision. Meet Mr. Ismail, a blind street masseur that has been working around this block for around 10 years now.
In the newspaper, there's a shop offer massage course. So just enter. After 3 months, I got my own way. They teach me the Chinese, Thailand, but I just take Chinese and Malay only. Traditional massage. I'm happy all the way. I don't feel like, like saying tired. I don't like. I finish my massage all, I feel happy.
It is 6:00 p.m.
Mr. Ismail lost his eyesight at the age of 14 due to a high fever, and he has lived his life in complete darkness ever since. Being visually impaired also limits a person from doing everyday tasks, and it is hard for him to move around unaided. Luckily for him, he has a friend to help him with his everyday life.
I come for massage maybe 12 years ago. Make friends, talk. Then slowly, become closer. Then I met Zai came to me. I said to him, Zai, can you help me not? Because now I take taxi every morning to come here. Why not I take your car? So from there on, I start tomorrow. Then his car came to me at night, fetch me, then send me in the morning, come fetch me in the morning. Then from there, every day start.
My name is Zailani. Usually they call me Zai. Okay, and I'm a Grab driver. The normal basic thing is that every morning around 10, I will reach his house. We chit-chat first, about 5-10 minutes. I will look, I see what I can do. If it's dirty, I will vacuum a bit here and there. And then we are ready to go to block 539 to have our breakfast first, and then we open up the shops. Actually, it is enjoy with Mr. Ismail. Sometimes he's joker, he crack jokes. Okay, sometimes we laugh. And of course, it is part of my routine too. I can say that. Yeah. I really enjoy it, honestly speaking.
Things were also not easy for Mr. Ismail during the circuit breaker period.
During COVID-19, that was the first time I think Mr. Ismail were not allowed to operate the business. He was told to stay at home. That was the time Mr. Ismail called me. He needs to go out. He needs to take outside air. So I will fetch him. I will bring him to block 539. Same thing, we makan there, we eat there, we eat our lunch. Talk, chit-chat, and then I will send him back home.
For us, we do massage. We have close, maybe 3-4 inches only. We don't do 1.5 or 1.5 meter or maybe put 2 chairs away. How to do the massage? You put one person sit in front there like you sit over there. How to massage you like that, right? You have to come near to me, right?
Zailani plays a big role in Mr. Ismail's life despite the struggle that Mr. Ismail has been through. However, one other person holds a special place in his heart, someone who has committed her time and love to Mr. Ismail despite his disabilities. He first met her on the bus and started a conversation by asking her for the time. Both of them started interacting, and soon after, she called the Blind Association asking about Mr. Ismail.
The first day, I have a talk, all this. Then after that, from there, make friends. For 3 months, settle down. What special? Nothing special. She just like to take care, like the different. Mostly people, they married with normal people. And then she wants to change to marry to a handicapped people like me, you see.
His best friend Zailani was also there to witness the love between Ismail and his wife.
You see, Ismail told me about how she got to know her wife. So when she agreed to marry Mr. Ismail, I believe there's a lot of sacrifices she has to make, and it's not easy. That makes me feel that he's a true diamond.
Unfortunately, the person he talked to after work, the person who took care of him, and the person who loved him passed on in 2018 due to cancer.
You see the news, then you just pray to God lah. Hoping to get better, can get somebody, some medicine or maybe can cure her. But they say cannot. Already stage 4. She was telling me when she kissed my hand, took my hand and kissed her. And then she said that, miss you, I will meet you in heaven again, we meet you together, okay? Sayang, that's all. Cannot say lah, very hard to say. Because I really love her, see.
Actually, I came across this massage from one of my friends. I might call you Mr. Zai. I think one of Mr. Ismail helper. He told me about this service also. And furthermore, I get to know this also. There's some incident whereby also that make him sad also whereby some customer calls that promised to come but did not turn up. So some even take advantage on him. I might say that. So I hope that if the experience that he encounter, we as a netizen don't take advantage with this kind of people. This kind of person who fulfill his promises. Even there's a customer around, then somebody come around, he will talk nicely. He never reject them. Please help him also I might say that
Mr. Ismail's visual impairment did not stop him from reaching where he is today, and it is something that all of us can take away with.
Before, I still can work, then before I give up. Even I'm blind, I still can work.
I just love watching food. I love watching people eat.
Being able to hear like the crunch.
Or even, pouring a can of Coke and then hearing like the bubbling sound.
But that sauce, ooh, that is good. So good.
I can't wrap my head around it. My friends are obsessed with watching other people eat. And so am I. But when we share this with some of our friends and family...
Why are these people eating so much? Why are you watching someone else eat? What do you get from this?
It wasn't like we were watching anything really odd. It was just mukbang. For those who are not avid fans like us, or have never even heard of mukbang, here's a brief introduction. Mukbang combines the Korean word for eat, mukja, with the word for broadcast, bangsong. That's literally what it is. People filming themselves eat, often large amounts of food at one go. It was introduced in South Korea just a little more than a decade ago. Since then, mukbang videos have gone all around the world and grown to become a worldwide phenomenon. So much so that mukbang has grown to become a video genre on its own. But it should come as no surprise since views of mukbang-related videos grew more than 3 times in 2019. And here in Singapore, searches for mukbang spiked in May 2020. So my friends and I are definitely not alone in this. Which really leads me to wonder, what makes watching strangers eat on screen a compelling thing to do? Ooh, I love this part. Let's watch a mukbang together and I'll show you what's so special about it. So I think part of the reason why some of us enjoy watching mukbang so much is because of how immersive the content can be. But surely there must be more to this.
Probably most of us go to mukbangs to see the food, right? So at least the food should be like the main priority and the thing that they're showing the most in the video.
It's a very visual experience about eating as well, something that activates your 5 senses. In that aspect, I think how you place the food really matters a lot because it really appeals to the eyes.
When the food looks good, right, or it's presented very well, then it kind of whets your appetite to want to eat a little bit more.
Oh, it's no wonder I was craving fried chicken after watching the last mukbang together. So, what is it about how it looks that makes me crave it so much? To the internet!
I'm Deirdre Barrett. I'm a psychologist. I teach at Harvard and do research here. And I also write books. I'm the author of 5 books.
In her book, she explains what are supernormal stimuli. Dr. Barrett brings up the idea that food today is a form of supernormal stimuli. They are specifically engineered to look more appealing than their natural form.
So I think that mukbang pulls the, here's food that looks very sweet and very fatty and sort of looks more intensely stimulating than a real average meal you'd put down in front of yourself does. And they're certainly photographed in ways that emphasize their coloration or their wetness if they're supposed to be moist.
I guess, to put it simply, between this burger and this burger, there's no doubt that I'll pick this one. It's no wonder mukbang videos are filled with tons of good-looking food.
I think it's about the host as well in terms of the gusto, the eating gusto that the hosts have. It isn't so much about the appearance of like the person who is doing it, but more in terms of the way that the person is enjoying the food.
When they crunch, right, the first bite. You can see that they enjoy it as much as I do.
There's this octopus, Korean octopus that's live that they put into like this hot pot. Initially it looked really scary to me, but after I see so many people eat it, right, then I kind of want to try it.
I don't find myself like weirded out by unconventional combinations of food. I would just tell myself, just try everything once. Like, what's the harm,
We Singaporeans, we eat widely, W-I-D-E-L-Y. We eat widely. We mostly eat anything and everything, I think. Well, Singapore has been known as a food lover's paradise, right? So eating as one of the favorite pastimes of food is something that you find throughout. That's the way Singapore has been described. Food is a window, it's a lens into different cultures. When you're consuming, you are actually gaining knowledge about another person's culture.
Perhaps it is having grown up being exposed to all types of food that we are constantly curious to try new cuisines and learn more about other cultures. And what better way to do that than watching people from all around the world eat?
A lot of the food that I eat is like fusion food, and we love to try out new combinations of things. So mukbang is like really one of the most accessible ways you can find out like a new unique recipe.
I learned like a few Korean words from the mukbang videos that I watch. Yeah, so like, should I say out? It's so weird. Like mashisoyo. You know, like something like that. Yeah, so now because last time I don't know all these Korean words, but I learned through people learn through Korean dramas, right? No, I learned through mukbang videos.
And with humans have lived vicariously in many ways, right? We can't travel to places, exotic places in the world, so we watch videos. We live vicariously through that, yeah? And I think mukbang is that kind of new practice, new phenomenon, I think. Like during lockdown, we couldn't go to restaurants. All the restaurants were shut down. So you couldn't have your favorite food. You couldn't eat whatever you wanted, right?
Oh, and that was a huge thing for me because I love traveling. So I guess in a way, I look to mukbang to travel because I like eating when I travel, right? Travel in the eyes and stomach of someone else. Yeah, so mukbang has really improved my life in that way.
But here, you have, it's like that freedom, that unregulated kind of freedom that mukbang gives you.
Yeah, their lives are so vastly like far away from us that it's really like meeting a new pen pal that you could never meet anywhere else.
When I watch for a prolonged period of time, I feel like that person becomes like someone I know, like a familiar figure, like my friend. It's very sad, like I make friends with a virtual person.
Now that you say it, I view my favorite mukbangers as friends too. Is this normal? Let me do a quick search on this. Aha! So it is normal. There's this term called parasocial relationship. It was coined back in the 50s. Traditionally, it explains how people form a one-way relationship with popular figures they see on TV. And even now, be it radio, TV, or social media, we are able to form such connections.
A lot of people feel a connection with these broadcast jockeys, and they see them as friends, and they see them as potential partners or girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever, and it's just a new way of interacting in this world today. It's really a product of the digital world, and as more people live digital virtual lives, this is merely a manifestation of normal human interaction. And you think about the context that it was created in Korea, they're rushing around and really so engrossed in their work, and at the end of the day they go back to an empty home.
I think Singaporeans are always known to be constantly busy, and to be very honest, sometimes I also don't know what we are chonging for.
It always feels like there's a new milestone every time we finish something.
So if you ask me the pace of life, no life. Actually, Singaporeans no life. So no pace at all, because no life.
The other aspect of things is also this idea of mukbang being a substitute to human interaction, where you don't really have to interact with real people. You go online and you've got this wonderful community.
There's a lot of pressure and stress in real life, so sometimes I just want to escape into, video content so that I can not think of anything else but just that.
My generation faced another kind of stress. Your generation is facing a different kind of stress. It's a harsh world for you young people, for you millennials. So how do you deal with the harshness? Food becomes the easiest way. In a world where you can't control so many things, what can you control? So at the lowest level, we're going to have things like mukbang. Mukbang will have its place in the Singapore social scene, I think.
Mukbang helps me de-stress and learn more about other cultures. But more than that, mukbang makes the world a little less scary. At least for some of us.
I would say for mukbang, give it a chance.
It's really a community of people who just are trying to lift each other up. A community that is trying to like reach out to you and help you.
You know, it's like a black hole. You just, you know, watch one after another, and then soon, yeah, that's where I am now. Yeah.
Mukbang just makes me happy. Like, there's no reason. I just love it. If it's something that makes me happy, then yeah, the best thing ever that happened to me. Oh no, my partner is the best thing that happened to me. Mukbang is number 2. Yeah.
Single plate properly. Butterfinger, seriously. Why do I always have people like you coming to my cafe?
Sarah, what's wrong?
You come in here, you keep on changing your order, you keep on changing your seat, then you break my plate. Do I look like I owe you something?
Sarah, calm down. It's just a plate. It's fine. Sorry, sir. I think she's just having a bad day.
I really don't understand. Is it so difficult? You clean up your mess yourself.
It's okay, so I'll clean up later. What's wrong with you?
young man. Young man, are you awake? And that is why you need to check the bottom of the turtle to see if it is a male or female one. Hey, female tastes better. Sorry, what was your question?
Why am I stuck here?
Well, Adam, I can't say for sure. But maybe there's someone or something you left behind that needs your attention.
Wait. How do you know my name? I don't remember saying it.
Oh, Hey, you mentioned it when you were groggy. You forgot already, ah? Yeah, young man.
How do you do that?
Let's try that first. It's okay. It will take some time.
I'm really, really sorry.
Hey, okay, this is not the first time you guys are doing this, okay?
I practically have the money already. I just need a little bit more time.
Okay, I tell you what. Today is all I can give you, okay? But Friday I want to see the money in my account.
Yes, for sure.
I'm sorry, this is hard, I understand. I hope you can figure something out. If not, Friday will really be the last day.
I understand. It's just the least I can do for him.
I don't get it. Is it really that difficult to keep it together? Why hasn't she hired someone yet if she needed the help? And just this morning, she was yelling at the customer for such a small matter.
I can understand the frustration. But is the cafe really that important to you?
Of course. Years of my life poured into that place. That's it. That must be the reason why I'm still stuck here.
Oh, wait. Calm down. What about Sarah? Do you think she will be okay?
She'll be able to manage it once she gets alone. She just needs to hang in there. I don't know why I'm listening to you. You don't even know what we're going through.
Adam?
Another one. One used to put you to sleep. Oh yes! You got it! Wait. What about the cafe? We regret to inform you that we are unable to approve your loan. Without this, the cafe is finished. Shit. It's okay. It's okay. Yes! Call Mum! Call Mum! Why not, Sarah? Why not? James is going to kick you out. This is the only way.
Hi, Mom.
You don't have to call me that anymore. What do you need this time?
Nothing. I'm just checking in.
I've known you for so many years. We never just check in. What do you need from us?
I'm back on the rent again.
Again? Sarah, what is this? So many times this is happening. What's happened to the money we gave you?
Yeah, it's just that business has been really bad and...
Then why are you still open? Close it down, Sarah.
But I can't. I need to keep this open for Adam.
What do you mean for him? He's never asked you to do any of this. We told you to close it down and move on, but you chose otherwise. This is on you, not Adam. And least of all, us. So don't think I will lend you any more money to solve your problems. Stop calling us, Sarah. Goodbye.
Mom.
Are you sure this is the right thing to do?
Yes. Wait. Just give me a second.
Yeah, they already called me to get my stuff. Yeah. I'll let you know soon. Alright. Talk to you later, James. Bye. Oh.
I can't stay.
Then you have to.
You'll be fine. I have to go.
Adam.
I can't believe you're still not used to that.
I love you.
Hey! We waited for you so long already.
Sorry, Uncle. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Said goodbye already?
Yeah. How was I able to,
Hug Sarah? This kind of thing, very hard to say. And I think you shouldn't worry about it too. This kind of plot holes, very minor one. Please, please.
Uncle, who are you talking to?
Nobody. So, time to go?
Thanks for everything, Uncle. And, sorry for shouting at you.
No problem. So, any regrets now?
No?
Hey! When will be my turn? Another one.
யோ எவ்வளோ நேரம் தான் ஃபோனை பார்த்துன்னே குந்தின்னு இருக்கிறது? நீ அங்கே வேலை பண்ணுறியா இல்லை நல்லா கூத்தடிக்கிறியா? எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் செல்ஃபி எடுத்துக்கின்னு சுற்றிக்கின்னு இருக்கிற ஹீரோ கணக்கா ஐயாவுக்கு ஃபோட்டோ வேற. நான் தான் பண்ணி ஃபேஸ்புக்கில் பார்க்குறேனே, ஐயாவுக்கு என்ன சந்தோஷம், ஒரே சிரிப்பு ஃபோட்டோல. ஆனால் கல்யாணம் நான் 10 மாசத்துல கரெக்டாக பெத்து போட வச்சல, அடுத்து ஒரே வருஷத்துல இன்னொன்று வேற மூஞ்சிக்கு. அதுல மட்டும் நீ கரெக்டா இருக்க. நீ பெத்து போட்ட 2த்துக்கும் காசு அனுப்பிட்டா சோறு போட முடியும். அதுங்க சாப்பாட்டுக்கு எங்கடா போவோம்? என்னால தான் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்டா எச்ச பொறுக்கி. வீட்டு வாடகையில இருந்து உங்க அம்மா ஆஸ்பத்திரி மருந்து சாலை வரைக்கும் நான் தான்டா பார்த்துன்னு இருக்கிறேன்.
மாதிரி சரங்கத்துக்கு வரியாடா?
இல்லைண்ணா, உடம்பு சரியில்லை.
உடம்பு சரியில்லையா? மாத்திரை எதுனா போட்டியா? சரி, நீ படுத்து ரெஸ்ட் எடு, நான் போயிட்டு வரேன். பார்த்துக்கோ.
的了。
怎么了？
烦死了！
有给小费吗？
对啊。哎，1个小时50块，要吗？很帅啊！来吧，来吧。帅哥，快点嘛！来了，烦死了！
去过去嘛，你敢？
哎，那边有一个帅哥，来吧！
去！哎呦，帅哥！你有需要吗？可以了，30块了，来了，可以吗？可以哦，帮你爽。
帅哥，来吧！啊，帅哥，要来吗？1个小时50块，要吗？长得很帅哦，很美吧？来吧，Sept 1个小时50块，要吗 ？OK。
Okay, why not? Time for some action.
妈的，走！
来呀，大水，人到来賠先
10塊大，10塊大。
帥哥啊，有冇
10 speak。
OK， 10塊大啊，大隻買啊
10塊大。
OK。1、2、3，
開啊！
哇啦，
好事啊！
夠興啊！
好事喎！
哎，帥哥，唔係啦，咁啊，
我科大，
哎，我科 OK，咁樣我科啊，買啊！哎，貴啊，哇啦！來，哎，壓力，哎，會自己啊，也得會自己。
OK，
運氣好，係咪？
哦，教練會。
OK，
我跟他10。
大隻係咪？來啊！
對。
第一個輸掉了。來，壓力，啊，撳第一個，呀，
買啦。
哎，阿弟，試。Want to play Want to play, must put money oh. Come on, play. Come, play. Okay, you buy big, buy small, very simple. The other no need see.
Since my luck is so good 今天運氣這麼好，隆重落啦，70塊大。
好，阿弟 you want to buy big, buy small. Okay, 當槍賭馬當英雄，以溫州比 hero. Very good. I also like.
哎，貴啊！
哇，18塊A lot very good tonight. Come, take.
你先話，安怎你看你？
你講我白炒，愛掉貓是無？
我炒無。
無類咪省啦，閃啦。
你的，賣破啦。
閃啦，你最難找嘅。哎，come，阿弟 you want which one? Big, small? Okay, very good. Aya, daw sui. Kui wow. You win again. Very good, Are. Your luck tonight very good.
我不相信我运气这样差。
来。kui哇。Your luck very good.
哇，真的假的？运气这样好？
是他运气好，我也是输钱嘛啊！鼓励不？鼓励卖绳啊，香啊，play big big， 啊，play big big，come， then you win also big big。big， 大家你跟他啊，跟他啊，来，放个，kui哇 ，win again very good 啊！Tonight 啊，my underwear also go to you too already 啊，very good。哎呀，大水啊，安尼 play again，come，play big。My table very lucky one. Come on, bye ah. Be a man ah. Don't waste my time.
Thank you.
Like man. Must be like man, right or not? You're down there big. This one also must be big. Ah.
எத்தனை தடவை தாண்டா உனக்கு போன் அடிக்கிறது? நைட்டு முழுக்க தூக்கமே இல்லை எனக்கு. உனக்கு போனை போட்டு எனக்கு பிபி எகிர்னது தாண்டா மிச்சம். அப்படி என்ன தாண்டா போனை சுவிட்ச் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு கூத்தடிக்கு போனியா? முடிஞ்சா 1008 பிரச்சனை வந்துடுது. நீ அங்க ஜம்முன்னு காலாட்டின்னு வீட்டை பத்தி யோசிக்காம சுத்துற. நான் உங்ககிட்ட என்னடா சொன்னேன்? மாசம் 10 பணம் நம்ம சொன்னா இல்லையா? அது என்னைக்காவது செஞ்சியோட பொருளோக்க மனசு தொட்டு சொல்லு பார்க்கலாம். வீட்டுக்கு காசு அனுப்புறதுக்கு துப்பு இல்ல. நீ எல்லாம் ஆம்பளை, உனக்கெல்லாம் எதுக்கு பொண்டாட்டி பிள்ளைங்க? உடனே போனை போடு, இல்லன்னா மாவடா நான் என்ன பண்ணுன்னு எனக்கே தெரியாதுடா.
ராசா எங்க இருக்க? உன் பொண்டாட்டி கண்ட மாதிரி திட்டுறாயா? பிள்ளைங்கெல்லாம் அழுவுது, எங்கப்பா போன? வாடகை கேட்டு ஹவுஸ் ஓனர் வந்துட்டு போறாங்க, காசு இன்னைக்குள்ள அனுப்பிடுயா. எல்லாம் கண்ட மாதிரி பேசுறாங்கய்யா. ராசா உன் பொண்டாட்டி காசு வரலன்னா பிள்ளைங்களோட தற்கொலை பண்ணிக்குவேன்னு சொல்றாடா. எனக்கு என்ன பண்றதுன்னே தெரியல. உங்க அப்பா இருந்தா
ஏ மாதிரி நேற்று ராத்திரி எங்கடா போயிருந்தா? சூப்பர்வைசர் கிட்ட சொல்லி சமாளிக்கிறது. என்ன மூஞ்செல்லாம் காயமா இருக்கு? ஏன்டா அழுகுற? என்னடா ஆச்சு? பணம்ல போச்சுனா பணம் போச்சா? என்னடா பண்ண? அடிச்சு பணம்லாம் எடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டானுங்க. அடிச்சிட்டாங்க. அந்த ரோட்டுக்கு அந்த பக்கம் போனியா? எத்தனை தடவை சொன்னேன் நானு ரோட்டுக்கு அந்த பக்கம் போகாதுன்னு. காசை திருடிட்டாங்கன்னு சொல்ற. தப்பா பேசுதுண்ணா. பணம் கிடைக்கலண்ணா. குடும்பத்தோட தற்கொலை பண்ண போதா? தேடுவேன். அழுவாதடா. அழுவாதடா. காசு புடி. முதல்ல ஊருக்கு இதை டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ணு. நான் சொல்றது கேளு. நாளைக்கு நம்ம சூப்பர்வைசர்கிட்ட சொல்லி போலீஸ் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்ணலாம். இங்க இருக்க போலீஸ்லாம் ரொம்ப நல்லவங்க. காசு கிடைச்சிடும். நீ வருத்தம் நம்மளுக்குள்ள என்னடா? பொறுமையா காசு திருப்பித்தா. முதல்ல போடா, காசு அனுப்புடா.
为什么今天赚的钱那么少？你以为你来度假？你是来还债？你以为自己很漂亮，可以选课？我可以把你送去更惨的地方。你要吗？你要吗？
喂，你还好吗？
我还好。
今晚爹地会迟一点收工。
哦。
你就先去睡吧。OK。Good night。拜拜。
你就是小燕。
客户在同理街等我们。
喂，怎么了？哦，我知道了。可是爹地现在很忙，有顾客，你就别再打给我了，好吗？等一下爹地就去买吃的给你，你就乖乖的先听音乐，好不好 ？OK， 拜拜。
拿出来吧，我来帮你。哎，萱萱，
哦，
快点，
先在这里。
真乖。我来帮你。
吗？这里可以吗？
啊，可以。谢谢。
我要去买点东西，你需要什么吗？
不用，我想去抽根烟。2.3块。3块。
给你的。
哦，谢了。这是你第一次啊？刚才那些声音， 都是做工的一部分，是假的。过了一下子，你就会习惯了。这份是你的，
谢谢。
这是给我家人的。我爸以为我在杂货店做工，但我没说我做什么。还是不要让他知道。
当然。喂，怎么了？
外面很吵，是不是那些噩梦又来了？
你肯定是做噩梦了。
现在就睡不着了，弟弟，你几时回来？
我多下子就回来了，你先去睡吧。
我不要。
一旦你睡着了，你就不会再听到那些声音。
如果他们又来打你怎么办呢？
别担心，爹地会没事的。还有，爹地一定会保护你的。
你答应吗？
当然，我答应你。好吧，你先去睡觉吧。晚安，拜拜。
他今年几岁？你女儿
7岁。
你真是个会照顾家庭的好父亲。
这是必须的。
有顾客了，我们走吧。
哎，钱钱。
等一下嘛。
你到底想要什么？
慢慢来。
停车，停车，停车！对不起，不可以这么做。什么不可以嘛？啊，这样可以的吧？啊，拿去，下去。走啊，还等什么？钱也拿了，还想怎么样？不够啊！
担心，爹地会没事的。还有，爹地一定会保护你的。
你答应吗？
当然，我答应你。梅，来，别怕，爹地在。OK。
Thank you for tuning in to FM Radio. In recent news, due to the latest COVID-19 outbreak affecting citizens at a fast rate, a circuit breaker will soon be imposed from the 7th April to 1st
Yes,
June.
yes.
All shops
I'll
and
get in
public
touch with her.
spaces will be closed and safe distancing measures will be strictly followed. So everyone, stay home and stay safe.
Hello? Hello, Cheleha. Where are you? You're half an hour late already, no? You're taking a cruise, is it? Faster, come here right
Mr.
now.
Gopal, I'm on my way.
Cheleha, now you are the social distancing ambassador of Tampines Block 805. Must make sure everyone follows the rules.
Me? Hey, I don't wanna. Why don't you ask Ami? Ami very garang one, you know. So many people afraid of her. You can ask James. Have yellow belt in taekwondo tau. Go ask other people. I really cannot.
Cheleha, now you are the only one left. All the other supervisors and they cannot quarantine already. Cheleha, I got no time to play with you already, okay? You can do it, okay? I know that. Come.
But
you can do it.
hello, sir. Actually, you cannot sit on the bench, you know. This one got tape.
Tape? What tape? Where? Where? I don't see any tape. Don't have lah. I don't see anything.
Now, because of the COVID, right? So, no one can sit outside anymore. You see?
Oh, this COVID. Bedek lah.
Stay away! Stay away! 1 meter apart! 1 meter apart!
Apa yang 1 meter apart? Sayang, sayang pergi mana ni? Satu blok tau. Abang cari sayang.
Shh, bang. Ada orang tengah kejar ni. Bang.
Siapa? Siapa kejar? Mana-mana orang?
Abang ni. Lihat ni kamu abang kau tahu. Kalau orang tu dapat cari Leha tu macam mana?
Sayang, bila masa sayang buat kerja ni? Dah. Abang nak sayang berhenti kerja sayang ni, ikut abang balik rumah. Kalau tidak, orang yang kejar sayang ni, kalau dia apa-apa kan sayang, macam mana? Abang juga yang susah.
Lah, abang tak ada apa-apa lah, bang. Tak ada apa-apa yang akan berlaku pada Leha.
Ya, sayang cakap tak ada apa-apa. Yang sekarang ni sayang sembunyi kat sini, pasal apa? Sudah, berhenti kerja sekarang, ikut abang balik rumah. Jangan cakap apa-apa. Jangan cakap apa-apa. Sayang. Kita kasut khabar lah. Wow. Tengok ni. Handsome tak?
Handsome?
Okey, sayang. Abang pergi kerja dulu lah. Sayang. Ingat jangan keluar sembarang. Jangan lupa gosokkan uniform abang
Baik, bang.
Bye.
This time, Cik Leha is smarter. She got strategy one, you know. First, I split all the rule breakers to different levels. I start off with the easiest level. Hey Mary, see what I got for my children. This is only one thing. Malaysia is going to lock down soon. I get instant noodles. You on the shout already? No, 1 meter apart. Wear your mask. Wear your mask.
Apa kata? Bukan satu, parah, kira. Ingatlah.
Hai, hai.
Alah, Cik Leha pula.
Run, Keep running. Run. Before I catch you. Run. I've got you. Remember me, I am Cik Leha. I am the social distancing ambassador for Tampines Block 805. Repeat after me. Who am I?
You are Cik Leha, and you are the social distancing ambassador of Tampines Block 805.
Wow. Up. Hey, mask. Wear your mask properly.
Stupid. Waste my time. Waste my time. Rubbish, you know. Waste my time. Nonsense. Nonsense. Nonsense.
Abang pergi kerja eh?
Okey bang.
Apasal saya pakai vest?
Saya saja je nak try. Lepas ni saya nak basuh vest ni.
Oh. Bukan masa nak keluar kan?
Tak adalah bang.
Okey, bye.
So, you are the Marchi terror of Tampines Block 805. Sounds more like Marchi terrible.
What is your problem of this?
Let's see what else you have. What more you have? Yeah. Without this ID, you are nothing.
Sayang okey.
Hi, Mr. Go.
Leha, what's up with those videos of you terrorizing the residents, huh?
I have been doing my job all this time.
I trusted you, Cheleha. Huh? Look what you have done. Now, I have to give you a new job.
What job?
No job. You are fired.
我的天哪，哥！
Fire her lah.
Actually sayang, abang yang rekod semua video-video tu.
I don't care.
Abang buat semua ni pasal saya tak dengar cakap abang. Jadi inilah caranya abang boleh dapatkan saya punya attention.
I am Leha. I am the social. Tapi abang dah buat Leha kena buang kerja tau. Leha suka betul dengan kerja tu tau bang.
Sayang, abang buat semua ni pasal abang nak protect sayang. Abang tak nak orang lain sakitkan hati sayang.
Leha tahu yang abang sayangkan Leha. Tapi kadang-kadang Leha rimas lah. Ini pertama kali tau Leha jadi ambassador. Sekarang dah tak boleh lagi dah. Leha tak pernah dapat peluang untuk banggakan diri sendiri. Kalau abang betul-betul sayangkan Leha, abang mesti beri Leha peluang untuk berjaya. Hello everyone. My name is Leha. And I am the social distancing ambassador. Leha would like to say sorry for Leha's behaviour. I only want a safer neighbourhood tau. I'm so sorry
We have finally reached the end of the circuit breaker. A lot of effort was taken by residents to ensure the safety of others, especially in Tampines Block 805, where it is the safest block.
We are very thankful for Leha, and because of her, right, we are very careful around one another.
Leha makes sure that everyone is safe. Because of her, we help to look out for one another.
very thankful and appreciative of Leha's effort. Because of her, no one in this block got sick.
We could not have done it without Leha. She has made this neighborhood a safer place.
Thank you, Leha.
Thank you, Leha. Thank you, Leha.
Thank you, Leha.
Sayang, cepat sini. Sayang. Abang nak minta maaf dengan saya. Abang sedar yang abang salah. Actually, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of what you do. Abang janji, abang akan sokong sayang. Abang ada bawa orang tau yang nak ucapkan terima kasih pada sayang.
Thank you, Leha, for all your effort.
Thank you for keeping the neighborhood safe.
I'm sorry, Leha.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm also very sorry for being such a makcik terror.
It's okay, just a gift for you.
1 meter apart. Just kidding.
各位朋友们，快乐的时光总是过得非常的短暂。我们今天愉快的行程呢，马上就要结束了。现在呢，我们的司机师傅驾车呢，带领我们去今天下榻的宾馆。希望大家今天晚上呢，到宾馆以后好好的休息，因为明天的行程呢更加的精彩。明天呢是一个重要的环节，参观我们这里一个非常重要的历史景点，也是一个标志性的建筑。它是为了纪念我们这里古代的一位美女而设立的这么一个景点。我相信大家都非常的期待。在这里呢，首先讲一下这个景点的小故事给大家听，让大家稍微的了解一下。这是一个真实的历史故事。在很久很久以前，我们这里有一位美女，她爱上了一个男人。这个男人是一位将军，他指挥着千军万马。然而在一次指挥的失误当中，被敌人重重包围。此时此刻，他唯一的选择就是和敌人决一死战。但是呢，他放不下他心爱的女人，他怕他失败以后，敌人抓走了他，他会受尽折磨和屈辱。这个女人呢，也知道她的男人左右为难，心里很痛苦，所以她拔出宝剑，选择了自杀。
嗨，
Hello，
我可以坐。
来，我给你倒上。
我不会喝酒。
真不会喝酒，喝着喝着就会了。来，哥哥先敬你。来，一起喝一个。
很苦。
苦吗？越喝越甜，越喝越甜。相信哥哥，哥哥不会骗你。喝酒就可以。来，拿着啊，喝一个。好，够意思。越看越可爱。这帽子，哎呀，还2个耳朵，皮肤也好。你俩喝一个吧。不在状态啊。
你妈妈知道你出来吗？我们的车是明天早上7点钟。
哎呀，哪那么废话？喝个酒在那边啰嗦，喝酒，什么？你是？
没有抽烟？
都给我客气。我发现我多余了，多余了。那么，你们看一个啊，我要先回了，不打扰。妹子，哥哥先回去了啊，再见，你买单啊。
我没去车上吧？去车上很暖和的。
第3楼。
好男人不会让亲爱的女人受一点点伤，绝不会像阵风中飘起荡百温柔的流浪。好男人不会让等待的情人心越来越慌。开心吗？
嗯。
刺激吧？
嗯。
房间热，来，
我不热。
脱了。
我不热。
脱了。哎呀！你干什么？那不够意思，不够意思，洗澡去。 今天呢，为大家服务的呢，导游依然是刘先生，就是我。 还有我们的司机师傅，也就是相处下来几天大家都非常喜欢的这个留着性感小胡子的我们的李师傅啊。这几天相处下来呢，感谢大家对我们工作的支持和鼓励，也感谢大家对我们提出的宝贵意见。在这里呢，我和我们的司机李师傅代表我们的公司，代表我们当地的景点的工作人员，对各位都来表示衷心的感谢。在这里谢谢你们支持我们的工作。那么废话少说，今天的行程呢，我们从现在开始正式出发。This is what we make it.
Change is part and parcel of life. From the moment we were born into this world till the day we die. Some things can be planned or prepared for, but many of life's milestones and moments might catch us unexpected throughout our lives. But some things remain a constant source of reassurance, guiding you along and telling you that everything will be okay. Through all of your moments, no matter how big or how small,